has won 4 of his last 5, and he's done so in impressive fashion. He forced Jose Acuna to say no mas at the end of round 1 on April the 1st. He comes in on a roll. He's a tall flyweight at 5'9", but again, this is a tough fight.
Yes, it really is. Tony is very special. The big trick for a lot of these young greats, and Tony Laramie is one of them, TJ, his brother as well, is you actually have to keep getting better. You must. Everybody must. Because the game gets better. And so when a Sergio Quintero comes along, who he is today is further along than who people were a few years ago. So Tony has to continue to improve. Every fighter does. John Jones does. When John Jones started winning closer decisions, it was because the game accelerated beyond where he accelerated to stay beyond it. So that's the question here is how good is Quintero in the context of today? And we'll find out here. We'll find out tonight.
As Brad Pitt said while playing Billy Bean in the movie Moneyball to his scouts, adapt or die.
Yes.
And that has been a tagline we have seen play out tonight.
Yes. And this is another saying you've heard in many different places for a long time, innovate or die. You must innovate the game too. You can't just be sharp and predictable. You've got to be improvisational and innovative in real time.
And we get our first real look at Sergio Quintero, who has never fought in Canada before. And Robin, he is a long 125.
Yeah, he is. The legs in particular.
Now, this is something that we have seen Tony Laramie come up against before. Sam DeBalke, Claudio Ledesma, both much taller, much longer than Tony Laramie, who is essentially the human version of C4.
Yeah, and Tony is not at a disadvantage because it is always the assignment for him.
And in the red corner, Tony Laramie.
Tony is the thing that you don't get to fight much. You don't get to fight fighters like him who move in and out so quickly. So it is not a disadvantage for him to be shorter. It is just the norm, and he performs really well. When a human being extends their long weapon, it's got to retract all the way back. And during that time, Tony's inside the range of your weapon, and he's in range for his tools.
Now, for Tony Laramie, he started professionally really young. He steps in tonight at 24 years old.
Wow.
He began his professional career in TKO in 2017, Robin.
Yeah.
He beat Keith Lee and Derek Falk before stepping up in competition, got turned back by Louis Jourdain by unanimous decision, and then lost due to injury against Jordan Graham. From there has been nothing but wins on the record.
Yes. So you mentioned Keith Lee, who incidentally is one of the biggest influencers on planet Earth right now. Keith Lee has a food review with hundreds of millions, billions of views. Also a great fighter. Also really tall and long like Sergio is. So from fight number 1 in TKO, I got to call that fight. He's been fighting guys like this.
Tony Laramie has taken on veterans. He's taken on newcomers. He's never turned back a challenge. In fact, one of the young men who's had the hardest time finding fights in his professional career is Tony Laramie, because as an amateur at 4-0, all by finish, nobody wanted to fight him.
Yeah, nobody, I mean, he's a real handful.
Ladies and gentlemen, this next fight is brought to you by the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, IBEW. This fight is in the PFC flyweight division. It's contested over 3 5-minute rounds. The man in charge of the action when we start is Mr. Patrick. And now first, introducing in the blue corner, fighting out of Durango, Mexico, representing Piero's Gym, he's fitness, 5'9". He weighed in at 125.2 pounds, has a professional record of 4 wins, 3 losses, with one win coming by way of knockout and 1 by submission. Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for Sergio Mono Quintero. And his opponent in the red corner, fighting out of Windsor, Ontario, representing Maximum Training Center. He stands 5'2". He weighed in at 127.2 pounds, has a professional record of 6 wins, 2 losses, with 3 wins coming by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for Tony, the Secret Laramie.
The secret might be out on Tony Laramie.
Yeah, ain't no secret. Yeah, he moves his feet extremely well. Sometimes when people are fighting, somebody will talk about their hand speed or their head movement. For Tony, it's his game speed, the speed at which he processes what's happening. And he can move his feet in and out extremely quickly.
As Tony takes center cage, and Quintero immediately goes for the low kick, and Tony sweeps the leg out.
Yeah, he kicked on the inside of the calf and now the outside.
Laramie, you can see just the body style. He is dynamite.
Yeah.
And if he gets loose on Quintero, it could be a quick night as Tony turns back a kick.
Yeah, and there was a punch coming at him when he threw it. Yeah, 5'2". Yeah, he ate one there.
Quintero comes straight down the pipe using the long reach.
I haven't got to see Tony fight in a while, and not in person. He's just as fast as he's been. He's a little more calculated.
Oh, what a shot! And Laramie swarming lefts and rights.
That is a vicious kid.
When he smells blood in the water, it's a great white shark.
I was just saying he was more calculating. He was seeing it a little less getting into gunfights. And that punch that he landed was entirely math. He just bounced his way in, got all the information, and landed it clean. It wasn't, he didn't have to chase through, smash his way through a brick wall. He just moved around it. Now he's smashing his way through this guard.
Smashing with the left and then loosening up the right. Quintero trying to guard up.
Jeez.
And Laramie just relentless.
And it's all his hips. Watch. His hips are in, and he's got a, that was illegal. That was legal, that up kick.
The up kick landed, and Laramie.
I think Laramie was standing when that up kick landed.
Oh, that's what they're saying is a foul for the up kick.
We'll see the replay, but Tony's hips were in, but I don't believe anything was touching the ground except for his feet.
So it was a point taken, and now we restart from the ground. The only problem here for Tony Laramie is it broke some momentum.
Yeah, but he'll get it right back, as you can see.
Never mind.
Yeah. Shut up, Reed.
Tony, with his reaction, essentially said that.
Yeah, that's exactly what he was saying. If he heard you, he was basically physically punching, shut up. Now he's advanced his position, head in the cheekbone and under the chin, and he's going to stretch this guy out and get his left hand free.
Now working his way to mount. And this is not a position you want Tony Laramie in on top of you.
And that low center of gravity is going to be impossible to get rid of.
Just peppering lefts and rights.
He's considering the armbar, but nope. Wisely stays there. He can just pound from this position. It's going to be real hard to get him out of there. But
Quintero's nose is opened up, and Laramie's going to continue to go back to it.
So his corner's yelling posture hammer fist. And he's posting on his left hand and now just riding the waves and throwing punches. Now controls the other arm and punches to the same side.
Oh, that was beautifully done by Tony Laramie.
Yeah, I think he's still got the hand. We can't, yeah, he still got it.
Trapping the wrist and using it to open up the punches.
And also as leverage for himself to hold the position while he punches to the open side. He is pummeling this man, but Sergio staying in the fight and punching from the bottom.
But how much longer can he stay in? It's Laramie again opening up both lefts and rights.
And Tony's coming through the guard and around the sides through the V of the arm. He's taken every angle in here.
3 rights in recent flurry here that have landed clean.
This is vicious. You know, the opponent is defending himself through his movements, but now I think you can stop this fight happily any minute.
Quintero gives up his back. Laramie just keeps on going. And Quintero has really opened up.
A lot of blood.
That's going to be the stop.
Yeah.
Tony Laramie, like a Wolverine, let out of the cage.
Sergio is protesting. He's got a lot of heart, and he wanted to continue. But Patrick did him a favor. Tony was not going to stop until that man was unconscious.
There was no way out of that position. We talked about a tough stoppage in the Jesse Gross fight, but Robin, there was no other choice here. There was no way out.
Yeah, Patrick gave him as much chance, as much leeway as you ever give anybody. And Sergio 100% right now is like, you should not stop that fight. But that was the correct move, no question. Just because the fighter could keep going and wants to keep going doesn't mean we should let him.
Do I hear the sounds of the phone of Tony Laramie starting to ring from the likes of the UFC and Bellator?
Yeah, we've seen TJ in the UFC, and yeah, Tony is one of the great 125-pound fighters in the world, and he's unique in that he's 5'2" and has a particular body shape, and he is a vicious fighter, and he showed it tonight.
I can tell you right now, Alex Caparici and Jamie Champion would be happy to have him right back here in the prospect cage, but there are big things calling for that young man.
Yeah, that was vicious.
Tony Laramie, a special type of athlete. He runs his record to 7-2 overall, 4-0 inside the PFC cage, all by extremely impressive means as we go into Keith Crawford.
Steps in at 4 minutes, 15 seconds of the first round. Stops this fight. It is a TKO due to strikes for your winner. In the red corner, Tony, the Secret Laramie.
Congratulations, Tony. Tony Laramie, how are you, my friend? You are a vicious little dude.
I just do what I do, shit, I don't know.
Honestly, like, I don't know what that guy did to you, but when you got on top of him, that was a vicious assault.
I was just ready to go, so I've been training hard. Came to win, came to dominate, just like I always do, and I did exactly that.
You came to flash a badass haircut and smash that kid's face in.
All about that mullet, baby. 519 gang, Dub City, let's go.
Tony Laramie, ladies and gentlemen.
Like someone unleashed a Wolverine that hadn't eaten in weeks. Tony Laramie just ate an opponent inside the PFC cage. Robin, they say...